Today we're going to talk about value scales. The first one we'll do will be broken up by specific value, and the second one we're going to do a blend of values. First of all, value is the lightness or darkness of a color, or the lightness of darkness of anything really, because a pencil doesn't really have color. When you're looking at an image or an object to start shading something, you'll also have something called a shadow, which will be the really dark areas, and a highlight, which is where it's so bright and light that it's practically white. So you're going to have your value scale, but what we're not showing here is that really bright value that's white, because we're not going to actually color anything where there's a bright highlight. And when I talk about a full range of values, I want to see everything from that bright highlight all the way to this darkest shadow shade. And I also want to see everything in between. I don't want to see just a bunch of stuff colored like this middle value. I want a full range of values. So first you have your 2H pencil and HB pencil. You'll notice that those both have the letter H in them. Those are for the hardness of the pencil. So the lead is actually hard. It doesn't deposit as much graphite when you color with it. And then the rest of the pencils have B in it. Actually, HB is a combination of hard and B for black. So the higher the number, the stronger the letter. So this one is just B. This one's 2B, so it's stronger than the B. This is 4B, so it's got even more black in it. And 6B has the most black of the pencils that you have. Same thing goes with the H pencils. HB is a combination, and 2H is a stronger H pencil. So the higher the number, the stronger the letter. So it's either hard or black. And these black ones are much softer material, so they're going to shade a lot more easily, and they'll be darker. So first I want you to move these out of the way. First you'll draw just a rectangle. Give yourself some room. Don't make it itty bitty. And you're going to make a second one on the bottom. They don't have to be perfect. If you would like to use a ruler for these, you are welcome to. You're going to split the top one in half, and then this section you're going to split into 3 as best you can, and then you're going to split this side into 3. So you should have 6 equal sections, and then you're going to label each block with the type of pencil that you're going to use. So I would go from light to dark. So we're going to go 2H, HB, B, 2B, 4B, and 6B. And this will be the same thing, so go ahead and label the same way. But this one, we're not going to divide it up because we're going to carefully blend from one pencil into the next for our gradient scale. So the way that you want to shade with these pencils, you don't want to hold your pencil straight up and down because you're going to get a much more scribbly kind of line. But if you lay your pencil down and kind of lean it down, you're going to be able to shade it a little more flat. I would always start with lighter pressure and then kind of build up your layers. But I am actually pushing pretty firmly this pencil just because it is a hard density. It just doesn't put down as much graphite as other pencils would. So I'm going to keep going until I kind of fill in the rest of this square. Since it's a 2H, we'll go with the HB next. If you use the same amount of pressure with each pencil, a nice firm pressure, you'll actually be able to tell how each pencil is different from each other. Because no matter how hard you push with a 2H pencil, it's probably not really going to get as dark and bold as the 6B pencil, which you'll see later. All right, so as you can see, with the same firm amount of pressure, you can go from light to dark just with using different kinds of pencils. And you'll notice that the 6B and 4B, especially those ones, lay down really easily. They're really soft and easy to shade with. So this next section, I'm going to show you how to blend from one pencil into the next. So I'll start with my 2H pencil. And with this one, you really want to make sure that your pencil is laying pretty close to parallel with your paper. And I'm going to go ahead and color into my next section just a little bit. And I always find that kind of circling the pencil gives you a little less of those lines. So now I'm going to pick up my next pencil, which is HB, and I'm actually going to color over the section right here in the middle that I've already colored or shaded, and then go ahead and shade in this HB section. Kind of circling my pencil a little bit while my pencil is laying down to really make that nice soft blending. And I'm going to start to shade into that B section and pick up my B pencil, overlap over there. So I'm coloring over the HB section that I just did, just a little bit, so I can blend into the next section. And go over it a couple times if you're not pushing super hard at first, because you want it to nicely blend into the next. And then I'm going to shade into that 2B section, and then next I'll overlap with the 2B on top of the one I'm coloring right now. All right, so at the end of your practice, you should have 6 separate values at the top, all labeled with the type of pencil you used, and then at the bottom, a nice soft gradient or blend, also labeled with the pencils that you used.